Hey everyone, welcome back. So, there's something pretty serious I want to talk about today. The Social Security Administration just issued a major warning about a new scam that's been making the rounds. And this one takes things to a whole new level. Scammers are now pretending to represent the US Supreme Court. Yes, the highest court in the country, and using fake legal documents to trick people into giving up money or personal information. It sounds wild, right? But it's actually happening, and the details are unsettling. What's even scarier is that these scams look incredibly real, with fake signatures from Chief Justice John Roberts and even references to real government officials. And the worst part, many people are falling for it because it feels official. So let's talk about what's really going on here, what these scams look like, and what you should do if you ever get one of these letters. Because understanding this could literally save you from losing your savings or your peace of mind. Before we get started, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have you or someone you know ever received a scam call or a letter that claimed to be from the government? I know a lot of us have, and if you haven't yet, trust me, it's still worth being ready for. So here's what's happening. The scam starts with an official-looking letter, something that looks like it's straight from Washington, D.C. The letter says you've been named as a primary suspect in a federal investigation, usually something like identity theft or fraud. It mentions big agencies like the Social Security Administration, the Drug Enforcement Agency, which, by the way, is not even the real name. It's the Drug Enforcement Administration, and even the US Supreme Court. To make it look more real, the scammers actually use fake signatures from real people like Justice Sotomayor or Chief Justice Roberts. Some letters even include the name of a real state attorney general, like Raul Torres from New Mexico. Now, when you first read that, it feels serious. I mean, who wouldn't panic if a document from the Supreme Court showed up with your name on it saying you're under investigation? That's exactly what these scammers are counting on, fear. They're using the idea of authority to get you to act before you think. And here's where it gets tricky. The letter claims that your Social Security number has been compromised and that the government is issuing you a new one. It then warns that your bank accounts could be frozen unless you follow their instructions immediately. In some cases, it even says that the Supreme Court has ordered that no more than $10,000 can be left in your account or $100,000 in investments. It's very detailed, almost too detailed, which is what makes it believable. They want you to panic just enough that you stop questioning and start reacting. And guess what? A lot of people do. The scammers tell you to transfer your funds into a safe government account while your new Social Security number is being processed. That phrase, safe account, is a huge red flag. No government agency will ever ask you to move money anywhere, especially not to a private or temporary account. You see, what makes this scam especially dangerous is that it's not just the typical robocall or email anymore. It's a mix of high-tech and psychological manipulation. Some victims even get follow-up phone calls using voice cloning technology. Basically, AI-generated voices that sound like real officials. And sometimes, they even use deepfake video messages or fake government websites that look completely authentic. It's gotten to the point where even experts are impressed by how sophisticated some of these fake materials are. The letters have official seals, case numbers, and signatures. They even quote real sections of US law to make them seem legitimate. But the truth is, none of it is real. The Social Security Office of the Inspector General said flat out that everything about these letters is false. The court orders, the asset freezes, the name drops, all of it. Now, here's something I think we should all keep in mind. Fear makes people vulnerable. When you feel like you're in trouble with the law, your brain goes into survival mode. You stop thinking rationally and start reacting emotionally. That's why scammers use language like failure to comply or you'll be held personally liable. It's designed to make you panic, not pause. And the people they target the most are often seniors, those on disability, or anyone receiving Social Security benefits. Because scammers know these groups tend to trust official-looking mail and may not be as familiar with modern scam tactics. It's honestly heartbreaking. Some victims have lost their life savings in a single day just trying to do what they thought was the right thing. One story I came across was about a retiree who got a letter that looked perfectly official. It had the federal seal and even a judge's name. She ended up transferring $25,000 because she believed the government had frozen her accounts. By the time she realized it was a scam, the money was long gone. And sadly, that's more common than people think. So, how do you protect yourself? First, remember this. No government agency will ever threaten you with arrest, suspend your social security number, or demand that you move money into another account. The SSA, the IRS, the Supreme Court, none of them operate like that. If you get a message like that, hang up, rip it up, or delete it immediately. Second, verify before you act. If you ever get something that looks even slightly suspicious, call the agency directly using the official number listed on their website. Never use the phone number listed on the letter or in the email. That's often part of the scam. Third, talk to someone you trust before you do anything. The SSA actually has a campaign called Stop. Think scam. Talk to someone you trust before paying. It's simple but really powerful advice. Sometimes just taking that extra moment to ask a friend, your bank, or even your adult children can stop a disaster from happening. Now let's talk about why these scams are getting worse. A lot of experts believe technology is a big part of it. Tools like AI voice cloning and fake document generators make it easier than ever to copy logos, mimic voices, and even forge signatures. Some scammers can now create entire fake websites that look identical to official ones, all within a few minutes. It's gotten so advanced that even trained professionals can be fooled at first glance. But technology isn't the only issue. It's also about trust. People want to believe that when they see an official letterhead or a federal seal, it means something. It's part of how society works. The problem is that scammers are now weaponizing that trust. They're turning something that's supposed to protect us, like the image of the Supreme Court, into something that hurts us. Now, the Social Security Administration says it's trying to stay ahead of the problem. They've launched a scam awareness website at ssa.gov/scam, where you can check alerts, report fraud, and learn about the latest tactics being used. They're also using social media, places like X, Facebook, and LinkedIn, to get the word out quickly when new scams appear. And the administration says they're investing more in cybersecurity and fraud detection tools across federal agencies. They're working to make communications more secure and just pausing for a moment to share something important with you. We've partnered with Chapter, a service we feel confident recommending for clear, honest Medicare help. They'll connect you with a licensed advisor, compare every Medicare plan in your area, and help you save money. Most people save around $1,100 a year. It's free, and their care advocate team is there to support you even after you're signed up. Call 615-639-1937 or visit askchapter.org/money using the link in the comments below to catch these fake messages before they ever reach your mailbox or inbox. Still, some people are concerned about what this means for privacy. The more the government monitors fraud, the more personal data gets shared between agencies, and that can be risky too. Some groups have called for more transparency in how these systems work, especially to make sure that ordinary citizens aren't accidentally caught up in all the data tracking. But I think there's a middle ground, one where the government and citizens can work together. Awareness is really the first line of defense. If enough people recognize the signs of a scam, those scams stop working. It's kind of like a vaccine. Once people know the symptoms, they're much harder to infect. So, let's go over some quick ways you can stay safe. First, be skeptical of anything that sounds too urgent or too threatening. Real government agencies don't use scare tactics. Second, check for small details, misspelled words, wrong titles, fake agency names. Those are usually the giveaways. Third, don't be afraid to hang up or throw something away. If it's real, they'll contact you again through official channels. And next, make it a habit to check your Social Security account online at ssa.gov/myaccount. That's the safest way to make sure nothing suspicious is happening with your benefits or personal information. Also, consider setting up alerts with your bank for any unusual withdrawals. Small steps like that can make a huge difference. You know, it's sad that we even have to talk about this. The idea that someone would use the Supreme Court or Social Security to scare people out of their money. But that's the reality we live in now. The good news is that awareness spreads quickly, and the more we talk about it, the harder it becomes for scammers to succeed. So, if you found this helpful, share it with someone you care about. Maybe it's your parents, your neighbor, or a friend who might not be online as much. These scams are spreading fast, and a little bit of knowledge can go a long way in stopping them. And before you go, I want to hear from you. How do you usually spot scams when they come your way? Do you check with someone first, or do you go online to verify it yourself? Let's share ideas in the comments. You never know who your advice might help. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. I post updates like this regularly to help you stay informed, safe, and one step ahead of scammers. Because the truth is, staying aware is one of the most powerful tools we have.